Okay, let's begin. So, welcome to the show, Eat with the Owner.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Today's episode 39 already.
Cool.
And your name?
My name's Carl. Carl Summers. If you want a last name?
Summers.
Summers, yes.
Oh, that's a summer. Well,
It's
we're the winter, right?
It's a name that we don't really know where it came from in my family.
Okay. So where is it originally? Like.
So basically, I'm Jamaican, French Canadian, but like the Jamaican side is like a bunch of different blends.
Okay.
My grandma was half Chinese.
Okay.
So basically, her dad came.
So from your father's side?
On my dad's side.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So my grandma's dad came from Foshan.
Okay.
And she unfortunately didn't really know him because it kind of left at the when she was at an early age. But basically, kind of like grew up around my grandma. She was like the matriarch of the family kind of thing. So.
And from Jamaica, you speak French well here, right?
Yeah, like I was born here. So my dad's born in Jamaica.
Okay.
My mom was born here, but it's like they're born from countryside, so they're very countryside-ish.
Okay.
And yeah, like that's pretty much like.
You can sit a little bit closer.
Yeah. Okay.
You can put the back at the corner.
All right, I'm gonna just like check it out.
Yeah, we'll be.
Yeah.
We'll be in the center.
Yeah. So basically, so basically they came from countryside, stuff like that. But growing up, like I didn't really know per se about Chinese culture and stuff like that.
Okay.
Until later on, kind of like when I was like, I actually found out that, or maybe I knew already, but I found out that my grandma was half Chinese. It's like, let me learn about it. So I started like learning about different things, the food, the culture, and everything. So
great. Yeah. Actually, like to save some time, we can can start already.
Cool.
Have you been here? Been here?
I like the pork intestines.
Okay, and also like in this location, downtown location. When was the last time you were here?
It was a few months back because I've been really
this year, 2017.
Yeah.
1 second, let me check the. Still recording.
Yeah. Still recording.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just make sure.
We
do have some technical issues.
No worries. I can always pay for it. It's fine. Like I don't know.
No, don't worry. It's all like.
Sure. Okay.
The whole thing. This video is like all you can eat.
Okay.
And free drinks as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
soft drinks or the alcohol. Either way is fine.
Nice. I'm just good with water today.
Sure.
Yeah. Or maybe a beer.
Yeah.
I'll sucker myself in for a beer.
Sake or what?
I wanted some baijiu, but I'm like,
baijiu is kind of too strong.
Yeah. It was just because I'm like waking up tomorrow.
But do you want some sake or?
Yeah, we can do some sake.
Yeah. Okay, great. I have sake. Then we have a small bottle of sake. Then.
Cool. Sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, good. You can order. Yeah.
I don't.
It's risk free.
Yeah. I try to like limit the amount of thing, but I like twice cooked pork, and I also like the stir-fried pork intestines.
Okay.
Yeah, those are my two like favorite.
They're very oily though.
Yeah, I know, but they're my favorite.
Okay.
My friend introduced it to me, and like I'm just used to, because like basically I've ate pork intestine before, so for me it's like not a big deal. Yeah. That and then maybe like vegetables because it's like to balance it out, I guess.
Okay.
What could balance out? Actually, you choose. What's your?
Yeah,
it's up to me.
Day, yeah.
Making decisions. Yeah. I just get seasoned vegetables and garlic sauce. Yeah, just to balance out the meat and the. Yeah. That's cool. I'm good with that.
Do you want? Let me see. Want the green beans? Dry fried green beans, very popular.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah, we have two.
Yeah.
Want steamed rice as well?
Yes, please.
Steamed rice for me, and then we have sake.
Yeah.
Okay, I will quickly go downstairs.
Okay.
Put the order there.
Cool. Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, we'll be back soon.
Sweet. Awesome. Thank you. Oh no, close. Sorry about that. Oh, thank you. I just wanted to show you basically this is my grandma.
Okay.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Anyway,
So
she was like a matriarch and like a point person. So yeah,
Okay.
for us, like anyway,
But you
I'm getting sentimental. Don't mind me.
and you said you born in Montreal. You said you
yes.
you live in Western where?
I live in Pier Farm. So basically, it's like you have the airport and then you go up.
And which like I live in Kirkland. So
Oh,
probably
nice.
Very
Oh,
close.
that's really close.
Yeah.
Nice.
So are you on the
Like you know,
the
like
St. Charles?
no, like further down, like you know, Pier Farm Boulevard and these sources where the Tim Hortons and McDonald's is.
Oh, that
Yeah,
the
like a little
sausage.
that area. Yeah, like near Shanghai.
Oh, Shanghai.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
live right there.
But you know what is that? This new CNT gonna open up.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited. To
Yeah, I
check
guess
that out.
near that place, right? It's not too far from.
I think
your-
it's Saint Laurent, so it's a bit further.
No, not Saint Laurent. Saint Laurent is the current one. They're opening up one, like in your neighborhood, Boulevard one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's in Guang.
Yeah, already. I guess
Oh.
they open already, or like opening soon.
I
The
know
CNT.
the one that they're opening up in Saint Laurent, but I didn't hear about the one in Guang though.
Yeah, Saint Laurent being open for 4-5 years already.
Really?
Yeah. Saint Laurent, that one being there.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. CNT.
I'm gonna have to check that out now.
Yes.
Now that I know that.
Yeah, you have near the McDonald's, right? McDonald's.
Nice. Yeah, and the McDonald's right next to it. That's awesome. I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, not too
I
far.
find Shanghai is just limited.
Yeah,
Doesn't
it's-
have much.
Yeah, they don't have. So, I guess with the new CNT
Yeah.
supermarket, probably it will be very tough for Shanghai.
Oh yeah.
They're the business gonna probably push it out.
Yeah. Because there was one place near, like right next, like on the corner where I was living, and then when Shanghai opened up, that place closed down, and then I guess TNT is gonna take over, and then that place.
Yeah.
Usually, it's usually like that. I find with supermarkets. Yeah.
You mentioned you come from Concordia University. You're working there.
Yeah,
Or you,
so
you teach. Are you a professor there?
I mean, I used to teach English, but I don't do that
So
anymore.
what do you do there now?
I do web development, so I'm a front end developer. I do the site, the Concordia site.
Really?
So, yeah.
That's cool. So the whole Concordia University website, you are part of the team.
Yeah,
to-
so basically part of the team to build the site and
Okay.
everything like that. We kind of do the behind the scenes work, so that's pretty
So
cool.
the front end, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of work though. It's a lot of work, but
As long as it's looking good.
yeah. Well, we're taking it one day at a time, pretty much. Yeah.
But during the pandemic, you guys not affected, right? You kind of busy working from home.
I
It's easy
started.
for you to work from home.
Yeah, like I started in April. So I started once everybody was kind of starting to go back to the office.
Okay.
But working from home, we work from home like I think 3 days a week, so it's kind of nice.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not too hard. I mean, it's not. I mean, that's an understatement. It's difficult, but working from home makes it easier to just relax and eat what you want and drink what you want.
Yeah.
It's nice. So.
Oh yeah, if you live Pier Farm, coming to downtown is not too easy.
It's
You have the train still work. I guess they stopped the train services. You have a train station near there, right?
we don't have the train anymore, but we have 2 buses.
Okay.
We have I think 2 buses to come in, So then I take the 2 buses, then I take the subway.
470?
No. There's like the
216?
211, and then the 209. The 209 goes
311,
north.
311 is going the 20. The near along the lake shore,
Yeah.
lake.
It goes
lake
like
side.
Dorval, and then Dorval Circle. Take the
Jeez,
209.
that's not a that's a long way.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of used to it at this point, though.
What about the Sunnybrook? There's a Sunnybrook and another near the
68?
yeah.
Yeah, they have that too, but it's kind of out of the way. Because, like, the one that I'm taking
But what
goes
happened to
directly
your train
downtown.
services when it was stopped? Like the supposed to be
2019? It stopped before the pandemic. And then it just, like, they were like,
I
we're gonna
guess the train
finish-
station
yeah.
is not too far from your place, right?
Yeah, the train station is nearby, but they've been like building it up, but they haven't really finished it.
So
yet,
for the
it's
RAM, they have to do the Montreal tunnel.
Right.
So they're doing the kind of enlarge the tunnel or
Right.
something.
I think what they're doing too is that they're kind of making the station larger, so
Yeah.
you have to kind of go up the station. I don't know if it's gonna be good for like
So
people
the
with
train
wheelchairs,
service-
but
So the train services stopped for 2 or 3 years already.
right.
But what are the people who used to take the train? What do they do?
They either take their car in or they take the bus.
Really?
Yeah.
So there's no
It's-
shuttle
it's-
to at least to Concordia or something. I thought
I
they're
think
supposed
there's
to.
like a 968 bus. It's a shuttle bus. I don't remember though, but I think it's that.
But the routes you took is kind of you go south.
Mm.
You go to Davao. That's kind of a long way.
Right. It's
Wow.
pretty far.
Jeez.
But no, honestly, like after a while, like you just get used to it. You wake up in the morning, you do your routine, and you go.
But 2 days in a week.
Yeah, 2 days in a week, so it's not too bad.
Too bad.
If I had to do that 5 days a week, I'd be like, no, I'm gonna find another job. Just
Yeah.
leave. No. But no, at least 2 days a week is fine.
But if the RAM is running, it's
Right.
supposed to be a lot easier for you, right? So you just probably along the sources, you just take one bus to the RAM station on the sources, right?
Right, like the REM station, you can walk from where I live, so it's just like in walking distance.
No,
Like
it's
5 minutes.
the RAM.
Yeah.
The new RAM.
The
No,
new REM.
new RAM is 40 along the highway 40.
There's also another station. That's one. Path.
Oh.
Then the path that I take is like a different
On the north,
north
the
side.
north-
Yeah.
Oh,
So
really?
it's a different REM.
Okay.
There's like two. There's two different like directions.
Okay. So
Yeah.
so you still have the RAM on other. Oh yeah.
Exactly.
I'm confused here. I thought you were gonna go all the way to the 40. Wow. So
No, I'm not that good.
So you must. So you must look forward to the grand opening of the RAM.
Well, I'm holding my breath because I don't know how long it'll take.
It looks like it's not too
I
long.
give it
behind.
like 5 more years. It's just like they're
But
always slow.
But it's a private project. They
That's-
always. It's not
I
public.
mean, yeah.
They waste money. They squander money on public money. They don't
Yeah.
squander money,
Yeah.
the private money.
Yeah.
You know,
I
they
mean-
have to have the return.
Yeah, I mean it's a problem here because I lived overseas for 2 years. I lived in South Korea for 2 years,
Yeah, okay.
and like I remember the station. Like I lived in a small town, and they were rebuilding the station, like from scratch. 3 months done.
Finished.
I'm like, how come they can't do that here?
But like, do you mind like what year you were born?
I was born in 1990, so I'm 32 years old now.
So you grew up like in Montreal. Like you went to school all the way, university here. Or
Yeah. So I went to school here.
It's a public school, right?
Public school.
French.
English school.
Really?
So the reason why I went to English school was because one of my siblings could only speak. Well, actually, no, not true. One of my siblings had a learning disability.
Okay.
So basically, we all went to kind of like English schools because of that.
Okay.
So it was kind of like they have like these exceptions.
Okay. Accept.
So that's the reason why I went to like English school. And then like I went to high school here at university in CJIP as well. So
Okay. Which university?
I went to Concordia University. Now I'm working there, and then I went also to McGill. I did a certificate at McGill.
What kind of certificate?
It was a computers and information technology. So it was like an IT certificate at McGill. And then I did all the other education stuff. I did teaching English as a second language.
I guess you went to South Korea for
Yeah.
teaching English.
Yeah. So I did that because I didn't know what I wanted to do with
It's-
my life. And I was like,
it's
let's
very-
try.
Very
Yeah, yeah.
popular. Like I guess one of the guests before on the show, like
Right.
what is the guy? Yeah, he's a YouTuber.
Okay.
Yeah, he went to South Korea teaching English too.
Yeah, I feel like most people that go overseas to teach English don't really know what they're doing with their lives, and they just have to like kind of soul search.
But you make money and then
You make
travel
money
also.
and you travel.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a dual benefit. You get to soul search and figure out what you want to do while you make money.
But what was your major in the university?
Philosophy.
Philosophy. So that has nothing to do with
I know it had
computer.
nothing to do with computers, and then I ended up with computers.
But what made you change your mind or like?
I ended up doing philosophy, and then I left overseas because I was like I was doing music also. I was doing music before I left for South Korea. I was doing hip hop around Montreal. That's a different story.
That was
entirely.
serious.
Yeah, yeah. I was doing music and I was performing in different areas of Montreal.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I just wanted to get away from that and the people because it was just not my scene anymore.
Okay.
And so coming back, I did like a certificate in teaching English, but at the same time, what really got me to programming or to what I'm doing now was game development. So just started experimenting and like messing around with different. That's it. Like
it's not JavaScript, right, or something. What kind?
I do JavaScript stuff now, but before I was working with like 3D design development.
Because myself, my major in university was computer science.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I was
cool.
Yeah. I graduated 2001
Okay.
from 1997 2001.
Nice.
So 4 years computer science.
Awesome.
We used a lot of C++, C
Yeah.
in the university time. But I never, after graduation, I never kind of did any programming at all. So I went to a telecom company. So doing kind of deployment project implementation, those kind of stuff.
Okay.
Technical support. So we use computer, but not doing any coding.
Right.
So all the time I was a software user.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Still,
just
yeah.
doing the network stuff.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, honestly, I find it's kind of mentally taxing, though, sometimes. Like, I finish my day and I'm like, I'm just exhausted. I go home, I'm like, don't talk to me. Just shut the door.
But right now, a lot of immigrants, though, like especially if, like, for example, from China or somewhere, they came here if they have different, like, work experience or, like, different, major, like, not in the, but then their own background, like, career, technical background, they don't feel like finding a decent job here. A lot of them, they can go to IT, though.
Right.
I have a lot of friends. They start from scratch.
Right.
Probably your case as well.
Right.
Like
when I was doing the certificate, you mentioned there's a lot of people from different backgrounds.
Yeah.
Especially, it was mostly people from not Canada that were
exactly.
So basically, a lot of
this
people,
is medicine or whatever.
Exactly.
Other background.
Yeah. So I mean, people from other backgrounds and stuff like that. But like, there's a lot of people from different nationalities.
But when was that? Which year you started the training?
That was in 2006. No, 2016 to 2020.
That's
It was supposed to be 1 year, but McGill stretched it out and changed the program midway. It was terrible.
So 2016, right? To 2020, 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah, 4 years.
Yeah,
16 to 2020.
It was
That's already
supposed
the
to be-
pandemic.
I
Did you
know,
get the
yeah,
ceremony?
It was supposed. Huh?
Did you get the graduation ceremony thing?
So funny thing is, thank you. So funny thing about the graduation ceremony, it was online. They had technical difficulties. They stopped it, and then we had no more.
Seriously.
And they were like, "Oh,
that was
we don't know."
June or May
It's
2020.
like May 2020.
That was the worst time ever.
Yeah.
I guess that's the worst of the pandemic, right?
Right.
People were still in the panic mode that time.
Yeah. It was rough, and then I remember starting a job at that time. So it was an interesting. Yeah, it was an interesting time for sure.
Yeah, it was stretched for years, but actually, the regular circumstance supposed to be how many years? How long for the?
Usually about 1 year.
1 year.
Okay. It's supposed to be about 1 year, and then and then you're supposed to be able to work into that. Cheers.
Yeah, welcome. Actually, yeah. Now we work in the IT. Yeah.
Oh, you're working in IT now?
No,
Oh.
So graduated in 2001. I came here 2006, 2007, 2006, 2005.
Right.
So I always work in IT.
Okay.
So from 2005, 6 till 2020, I was working in IT all the time in Canada, in Montreal.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a network engineer.
Nice.
Network engineer till in end of April. I was laid off.
Okay.
That's why I fully committed to the restaurant.
Okay.
So having restaurant was on my side job.
Okay. So you started on the side, just kind of
9 years ago. Yeah.
9 years ago. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. What decided? Oh, thank you. What made you decide to get into the restaurant business?
That's a silly mistake I made 9 years ago. So working IT always get bored, It's
right.
Especially what I did. My job was kind of make sure I got in the office as a network, as a firewall, VPN to customer sites,
Right.
So most of the employees, they work in IT.
Right.
So they do the programming thing, but I work in the back end of the office.
Right.
So most of the time, if the network no issues, I'm not so busy.
Right.
I get bored. It's such a mistake. Okay, let's begin.
Thank you.
And so we have a lot of common language on the technology thing.
Yeah, I think that's cool. Like at least finding another person that knows about technology. It's funny though. You went the other way. I went the other way. But honestly, like cooking is a hobby I like too. Like it's something I enjoy. So, but do it professionally, I don't think I'd be able to. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, with my 9 years of experience of the restaurant business, probably the business itself, like cooking, is very different. It's the efficiency too. You cannot, unless you're very high end.
Right.
Otherwise, you have to do it fast.
Right.
Right. So it's different kind of, very different from cooking at home. You can take 1 hour to cook a 3-course meal, whatever, the whole family, but you cannot.
Right.
In the restaurant business, you cannot do that in 1 hour.
Right.
Yeah, you have to finish in 10 minutes or whatever.
Right. You have to get everything done
Yeah,
right away.
Yeah, it's so different.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
So that's pretty good. You get graduated 2020, so you working April, you mean, right? And you mentioned April you started.
So right after work, right after study, I had a job. It didn't work out too well though. Just the job itself was really high paced, and they had high expectations. Didn't meet the high expectations. Got kicked out.
Oh, the first IT
job. Yeah.
But usually, I think if you get assume 1 year of the IT training, they're gonna check you you have the computer science background to give you a good job or some good position.
Some places do. Some places don't. Some places are like, if you know someone, they're like, okay, yeah. Or funny thing is, the first 2 jobs I had, they thought I was from some other background, and they were like, oh, I'm from this background. I'm like, I'm not, but I got the job anyway. And then they realized I sucked at the job. So, but the job that I have now is great. Like, people are wonderful. But it's a 1 year contract, so.
But yourself gonna feel stressful too, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of stuff you did not have experience or
Oh yeah, there's basically stuff that I'm learning every day, and like all the tools that I had to learn within a couple of months. So, like, it's fast paced. The whole IT thing is fast paced. It's good pay, but like,
especially in the pandemic, you guys did great, right? During the pandemic, IT guys really got paid well.
yeah. But now
Now they said
now they don't get paid that much because they said that the boom is finished. So
finished.
yeah.
A lot of layoffs, like in the IT, the big company, Meta, Facebook, they laid off 11,000 people. The Facebook and Twitter and even Amazon, they all lay off people now.
Right.
The big.
Yeah, no, they laid off a bunch of people, and so
I guess it's the real business. They don't have money to spend on the IT anymore.
yeah. So it is what it is. But yeah, no.
How do you like it so far with the IT job? You feel you really good at it now?
I mean, I feel like I know it, but there's always still room to grow. There's always still room to like learn and get better at things. And I think that's the thing, is like you never stop learning.
The front end is, I guess, a little bit easier to start, right?
It's an easier entry point, but like, it's an easier entry point to get into, but there's still a lot to do. Still a lot to consider.
But there's another, for the entry level or something, a lot of people start with the QA position. Did you try the QA at the beginning?
I was QA game tester.
Okay.
So I did that for 3 months, but it was really boring because all you did was just like testing manually, and you had to do the same thing over and over again. And at one point, I felt like I learned everything, and I'm like, okay, let's move on, let's do something else. Then I decided to get into programming. Like, I got a programming job, and then from there it's just smooth sailing. Thank you.
Try this.
Thank you.
A lot of the QA, they do the automation. They got paid really well too.
Right.
But that,
I mean, not the place that I was at, though. Game development doesn't really pay that much money, or QA for game development doesn't really pay at all. But
those QA, they're at the gaming company, they're testing the games, or they're testing like the technical aspect of the games, of the software.
No, you're testing the game, so you're basically playing the game.
Okay,
so it's not really
not
testing
very
software.
not so
it's
technical.
not so technical. It's more just kind of follow these instructions, play it. That's it. But most of the people like being there, but it was after a while it gets kind of boring. But I know usually it's like if you do QA and you're working at a big company, it's a decent job.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's a good switch, right? You switch to the IT. At least I think the IT is pretty good.
No, for sure.
Yeah, for quite some time, I guess.
Yeah.
Even it's not great comparing to the pandemic time, but still.
It's still, it's still a good job. Just being able to work and all that. And it really depends on what I want to do, but like, for what I'm doing, it's good. I get enough money to survive, and
But what is your, do you plan or next few years or?
That's a good question.
Some people, some people they really plan long game or.
Oh man, long game. I would like a condo. Being able to afford a condo.
So right now you are renting.
Right now, I still live with my family. Yeah, it's kind of disappointing, but but I'd like to be able to get my own condo, which is something I'm hoping to do soon. But
I guess right now the condo market is going down, the house market. Okay. Probably just wait a little bit. Probably you'll get a good price.
should be a bit cheaper.
Yeah.
I think right now you want to get a condo, it's about like 400,000.
In downtown, right? Or like
Anywhere. Like even in East End, it's expensive too. Like you can buy a condo, but it's like about 300, 400.
But sometimes I don't understand people buying condos in the suburbs. Like you see the Point Claire, a lot of condos right now.
Yeah, I don't see the point.
Yeah, exactly. If you live that far from the downtown, so you need a car anyway, right?
Right.
And
yeah, it doesn't make much sense to have it in West Island.
you got to have some land also. If you want to live in the suburbs.
Like suburbs is mostly houses, so it makes more sense to have a house than to build a house.
Yeah.
But downtown or East End or whatever, it makes more sense to actually have kind of a condo. Because there's less place to park and stuff.
Yeah, for young people, still downtown would be it's a great location downtown. You have a lot of activities.
Exactly.
Everything close. Yeah, this one not bad, huh? I probably eat more rice.
Spicy.
No, it's a little bit oily, whatever. So it's just get more appetite.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. But yeah, I like this a lot. The intestines dish. But also, like when you grill the intestine on like a barbecue. That's good too. Yeah. You can also grill on a barbecue. When I was living overseas, that's what they did. That was good.
You mean they did that in South Korea?
Yeah, they have that. And they basically grill it. So you have to put your jacket in a plastic bag because your jacket pretty much smells like intestines afterwards. But like it's really good.
I don't think we have that in China. Maybe Korean they barbecue everything.
Yeah, it's mostly I think they barbecue a lot. But in terms of like food growing up, I never ate just like this because my dad and my mom are kind of like very safe in terms of the food that they ate. But whenever like we would go out, I would eat all the stuff that they would eat. So like if I would eat this normally, my parents would be just looking at me funny.
That thing is a lot of Chinese eat a lot, but some of them, even myself, before the hypoglycemia, I chose not to eat it.
Right.
Yeah, we started having this probably 4 years ago.
Okay.
Before that, we even did not have that in the not on the menu. Myself, I did not like eating it before.
Right.
Just kind of organs, but after having it, I like it.
Yeah, no, I think it's good because like, from my understanding, is when you eat organs, you get whatever nutrients that the other animal kind of ate, right? So, like for me, like something like tendons, like tripe and tendons, those are good too for me. Like because I feel like whenever I eat it, I have like more energy and
Really?
like soups and stuff like that. Yeah. I guess I'm more of a weirdo. I just eat a lot of different foods normally because like my in terms of a family, like I'm the one that eats everything. They nicknamed me the human dumpster when I was growing up, so.
So you can can live in Asia though. Asia is a lot of different things.
I can live in Asia for the food, but the social pressure, I don't think I could.
What do you mean the social pressure there?
Well, where I was living was a lot. Everybody was kind of knew about everything about you. Your work was your life was your work. It's just everything was intertwined.
Yeah, looks like
So
it's a privacy thing, right?
yeah. But food, no problem. I'll probably visit again. Just to eat. just to go everywhere to eat.
Besides Korea, what other Asian countries do you been to?
I went to Taiwan
Okay.
and Cambodia.
How do you think of the food in Taiwan? That's crazy, huh?
It was
Really?
good. I had a lot of them. My friend would kind of show me the different places, and took me to a night market, and just basically showed me like stinky tofu and like
Yeah, Taiwan got they got
really good. Yeah.
even for Chinese,
Mm.
for mainland Chinese people, they are like the night market of Taiwan.
Mm.
The food is amazing. They got
Food's amazing. It's cheap.
Yeah,
It's affordable.
very creative.
Mm. There's just a lot of different choices that you can go and eat. And it's really nice. I think I had duck soup, which was really good one time. And then there's like stinky tofu and stuff like that. It's pretty nice too. And the beef noodles. The beef noodles are really good too.
And beef noodle is it's a famous one. Even the mainland will have the similar.
Okay, nice. Yeah, like honestly, if I go back again, I'd probably just eat everything. Yeah, I find like that's what's good about that I'm just able to see different things and try different things and kind of get exposed to different cultures and learn about foods and stuff like that. But I think there's also big an interest because of like family heritage too.
But in Montreal, you have all different kinds of cuisines. Like, do you eat out a lot? Or?
I eat out not too frequently anymore. I used to eat a lot or eat out a lot, but I go to restaurants near where I live to pick up different foods and stuff.
There's a very good Chinese restaurant, very popular one in your area.
Which one?
I don't know the name, but a lot of people saying they have very good.
I know there's a noodle place. There's a dumpling place. Not too sure. There's one in front of my house,
No,
but I don't
one-
see anybody in there.
It's like that they do the fried rice, all those kind of Canada chicken. In a lot of years.
Oh yeah, Manly or
Probably.
yeah, but it's not like
It's a North American Chinese
yeah,
food.
yeah,
But
it's American Chinese.
yeah,
food.
it's
yeah.
very, very popular.
Yeah. But I don't know. I kind of stay away from the American Chinese food nowadays because I realize the American Chinese food doesn't have much flavor.
But have you tried the one next to the Shentai?
No, I haven't yet. Whenever I pass by, there's nobody, so I don't know if it's.
Actually, I know the owner.
Okay. In that case, I should try it out and let them know that.
At the beginning, he tried to do authentic, traditional, but then somehow it did not work out. So you always see the crazy low price on the window, right? The combo was special. The special price was crazy, right?
Yeah. I'm guessing nobody in West Island were into authentic food, so they only eat them. That's just West Island in a nutshell, though.
Yeah, it's a little bit tough.
I'll check it out. Because maybe they have also pork intestines.
Yeah, I would doubt it right now because if they don't have a lot of customers, they don't tip so much.
Right.
Choices.
That sucks.
Actually, since like
Oh,
you contact me on the Facebook, like want to be part of the video, like why do you want to be part of the video?
I was just like, I wanted to be part of the video and just talk a little bit about, like a little bit about how
I get
Chinese culture kind of influenced me as well, like, because I think a lot of people ended up going to China and know about that part, but I know more about the I guess the cultural influence of Chinese culture in like Jamaica and stuff, because that's kind of what I grew up around.
Okay.
So that's why I wanted to talk a little bit about like how the
You mean that?
like like for example, the reason why reggae exists and like the whole reggae records and stuff exists is because
What
of
is that?
Chinese family.
What is that? I heard that before. What is the
VP Records. So you had Vincent Chin and then Patricia Chin, and they had a record shop. And essentially, the record shop became a label, which is now the biggest reggae record label in New York
reggae?
City.
What does it mean, reggae?
Reggae is like a music genre. It's kind of like the kind of a genre of Jamaican music.
Yeah, I heard
And-
that. That's why I saw
Yeah.
the YouTube one reggae. Like the
Yeah.
guy, the Chinese guy, sing the. I don't know, that when I heard that song, I thought, what is reggae? Because I'm not,
Yeah,
so that's a genre from Jamaica.
it's a genre from Jamaica, but it's mostly like helped and created by Chinese people
Seriously.
in Jamaica. So
So a lot of Chinese people live in Jamaica.
a lot of people immigrated from China to Jamaica. And I think they're mostly Hakka descent, but there was a lot of people that moved in. It's just part of like how Jamaica is, like even the music and culture, food that you eat. Pretty much kind of became like infused with culture. A lot more than here.
So what is that music like?
It's like actually I can play if you want.
Okay, yeah.
Let's see if I can. I got a song that I could probably listen to. So this is a song that my dad used to listen to when I was growing up. Maybe like this is basically like what you would hear in as part of reggae. Let me just make sure that I can skip the ad because that'd be nice. Yeah, so another ad. That's fine. I'll just skip that. But basically, this is like reggae, so it has kind of a rhythm type of thing. So that whole genre of music was basically like the producers were Chinese. The main record label is owned by a woman named Patricia Chin, who basically had a record shop and then brought that to New York City, and now they're a big label and stuff like that.
Really?
So yeah, so basically, I thought it was kind of cool because like finding out about that, and I was like, oh, people should know about this. Like, more people should know about it. It's more known in the community, like I would say, kind of like Jamaican community, but a lot of people outside of that don't really know. So I thought it would be cool to kind of share that knowledge with you today. So
that's amazing for like because Jamaican probably a little bit smaller country, so people not paying too much attention, except that they're the short distance sprinter, right? The boat is coming from. Yeah.
Like the thing is that people only know like the surface level things, like things that you can get exported. But they don't really know like a lot of like the different mixes and stuff like this.
What is the language over there? Do people speak two languages? One?
They speak English, and then they speak like this kind of English, but it's not really English. It's kind of like a special slang English thing. But because they were a British colony, so they speak English.
Okay.
So, but they were also a Spanish colony at one point too.
But is how many people there? Like few million?
A few million, like maybe 2 million. Not too many people though. Yeah.
That's interesting. The Chinese immigrant there, the Chinese people there, they can affect the whole the music genre.
So there was there was a bunch of other musicians as well, or a bunch of producers as well, and then mostly it was behind the scenes. Like the main singers and stuff were black, but then like the behind the scenes, the producers, the record people were Chinese.
That's interesting. How about the food? Let's eat all the spicy food.
They eat spicy food, yeah. So it's like the food itself is a blend of different cultures. So like for example, my dad would always cook fried rice. He kind of grew up eating that and kind of cooking it. But like you have different meals which are a mix of different cultures all together. So you would have like one culture dish would be like more on the African side, the other one would be more of a Chinese side. So it's like everything kind of blends in together.
You use the pan to stir fry, right?
Yeah. You can have like some people cook with a wok, some people don't. It's kind of like a free for all, to be honest. Yeah. But I find it's just more integrated into the culture than like here, where it's kind of separated. There, like everything kind of more integrated.
Now, for Jamaican community, do they have a good big community here?
Not too much, to be honest. It's kind of sparse, kind of like separated, but
spread out all the
exactly. But in Toronto, it's more bigger. There's a lot more support and everything.
But do you have I guess at least you have one or two authentic Jamaican restaurants, right?
Kind of. I mean, they do have some, but not too much, though.
Is there someone like you go to or like you like or?
I think there's a place called Lloydie's, which is pretty good, and they have like oxtail. I don't know if you ever had oxtail.
Oxtail.
Oxtails, like the tail
How
of
do
an
they?
ox.
Yeah. How do
They like make it
stew?
like kind of a
Teriyaki style.
they make it like fried, but like with sauce and stuff, and it's with rice.
Wow.
So they have that.
That must be dry or something.
No, it's actually not
It's
not
a bone
dry.
and
It's actually
muscle.
like
Tendon, more like tendon.
yeah, it's more like tendon, but it's good. It's not too dry. It's like perfect. So there's that, and then there's a bunch of other things. There's of course jerk chicken and all that, but yeah. I thought it was kind of cool to introduce you to that as well.
Rhythm, yeah. That music, yeah. I don't know it's from Jamaica. I thought it was a word or.
Yeah, so it's like a whole sub-genre of music. But it's really cool. Anyway, yeah, just wanted to also mention how.
So the the music at the beginning you perform like is like a reggae as well.
No, I performed hip hop. So when when I was doing music, I was helping out with these shows called Beats from the East,
Okay.
and I was helping this Vietnamese guy, Mike Vo, and he was basically in charge of doing music shows for the Asian community in Montreal, and so he kind of like would host these shows or these events, and people would perform and stuff like that. So I was kind of like behind the scenes and helped DJ and organize the events with them and everything like that. So, and we would have shows sometimes in the old Chinese community center in Chinatown that closed down.
Oh, yeah, I heard of that. The
So
volunteers,
yeah.
for the new immigrants.
So we would have shows there, but after a while, I think he wanted to do something else, so he stopped doing the shows and moved on to something else. It was fun while it lasted.
But are you
But
yourself, are you good at the music or?
well, for now I stopped music, but I was doing my own thing. I was performing around Montreal. Wherever I could get a show, I would just perform there.
Even now?
No.
No.
I think I outgrew it.
Mm.
I think I'm too old for it now, so
Yeah, you have, yeah.
I've got my own like things, you know. But there's the yeah.
But then you, at the beginning, you just explore the opportunities, career choices,
Yeah.
living for the time.
Like-
Maybe the IT or something.
Like me living in Korea or living overseas, like at that time I didn't really consider IT. I was just like doing whatever and just partying and blacking out and drinking too much and you know, things that you do over in
When you're
another
young.
country when you're young. So I didn't really consider that future.
But it must be popular because you speak French, English, right?
I speak French and English.
Yeah, the kind of language skills.
When I was there, like if I wanted people to like be quiet in class, I would just speak French and they'd be like, "What?" And I kind of, you know, speak another language. People are like, "What are you talking about? What language is that?"
But did you pick up some Korean?
yeah.
Is that too difficult or?
It's I mean, it's tough, but like, I lived in the countryside, so for me, living in the countryside was like either you learn the language or you don't eat. So I had to basically learn the language other way.
So you can
So I
have
picked it up. Yeah.
some conversations.
Well, not so much now. It's been a while, but when I was over there, like I was able to have conversations, general conversations. But I lost all of that. It's been 6 years since I've been back, so I'm like, I forgot most of
It is
it.
difficult. It's like all like a square and a cross. You know,
Right.
I find it very interesting.
Because basically the whole language is based on how the tongue position is. So like the N is basically how the tongue would actually be positioned when you're saying in the N. Yeah. So it's like once you kind of understand like how it like works, and you're like, oh, that makes sense. That's pretty much it.
Do you want more rice?
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
What were some things that people talked about on your show?
I don't know the experience, the kind of stories about their life. Actually, one question I do want to ask: what do you think of the whole city, Montreal?
City of Montreal. I love it and I hate it. I think it's because when you grow up in the city, you know it so well.
But are you?
But when you leave it
Yeah.
and come back and you're like, oh, like I feel at home, you know?
But are you kind of proud you grew up here, or like
I think-
you went outside of the at least city or country to see different
Right.
different style, different
I think-
cities?
I think one thing that I do appreciate here is having a lot of freedom to be able to do what I want without having people kind of dictate what you want to do. And I think that's one thing that I like. I mean, there's definitely things I don't like. I mean, everybody doesn't like things about their own city, but I think just having the ability to do what I kind of want to do, I think that's good, you know.
But what you don't like about city? Can
Hmm.
something you know it very well.
I'd say the language laws.
96.
Yeah. I think that's the main thing that puts me off of it. It's just,
What is the difference? Because we have 1-1 already, right? We have 1-1 already. What is the? So they want to push a little bit further, or
they want to be more strict. The language issue.
so why don't they call it 1-1A, 1-1B, or 1-1C instead of 96?
I have no idea how the numbering.
That's a good
works.
number. Don't take the number. Keep the number for something else.
Yeah, they should like just use it for something else.
Yeah, you can 1-1 plus at least.
Yeah, you can just append something and just put
Yeah,
A
exactly.
or B, you know?
Yeah,
Or put like Roman numerals.
like what is that? Amendment or something.
That makes a lot more sense, to be honest.
You
Well-
just took a great number. Nobody likes 97. You can take 97, but the good number 96.
Yeah. I'm not sure exactly though how they chose the number, but
What is the restrictions? More restrictions on top of the 1-1. 1-1 already kind of
it's
people
restricted.
frown upon already the
Right.
infringement of the rights, right?
Right. I mean, from what I understand, that 96 means like if you're going to a French school, you can't go to an English school. You have to go to a French school. So you can't
French
really.
CEGEP,
So
right?
yeah. So if you like want to learn another language, you can't because like no, sorry, you gotta go this way. So it restricts people being able to like learn and do other things and stuff like that. I think in general it's more for people like to keep people within the province so they can't leave.
Also,
So if you're from another place, you can leave because it's easy to like go from back and forth and stuff, unless you have like family or whatever, a job or whatever. But like
how about the public services? They say like even
that too is going to be all in French, and like that's going to be affecting a lot of people that don't know the language.
so it's like with 1-1, it's not that bad. With the 96, so it's
Like 101 is bad, but 96 is worse.
but it's passed, right? I guess it's passed. It's in fact
Yeah, but I think it's passed, but it's like they're fighting over it now.
yeah. You always have people challenge, right?
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, that's one of the main things that I don't like about the city. I mean, but I don't think it's just city per se. It's
It's a province.
it's a province thing, but
Do you think it's one of the factors like Montreal is kind of diminished? Kind of
like downtown or
Yeah, the whole the status of as a city, like as a mega city, it's kind of it's not going up. It's
Right.
it's Montreal used to be a center for a region,
right,
a bigger region, not like Quebec region.
right.
The influence is supposed to be much bigger.
I remember, when I was younger, Montreal downtown had a lot of bars and
Right.
clubs and places you can go and
very
and
active.
It was very active, but now, I mean, after 8 o'clock, there's like nothing.
Also, a lot of comedians from the United States, they all
Right.
came down here to perform.
Right,
But right now, it's kind of very rare, I guess.
Yeah, yeah,
The market is getting smaller and smaller.
that's it. Like I think
So we get
it's kind of causing things to be smaller and smaller. Because I remember at one point, like you had all the shows and
all
people would come
the
to
big
Montreal.
names. Yeah, big
But now
names.
they would go to like other cities, like Toronto. or,
Even
like,
Edmond or something, they got some shares of the Vancouver. They got a lot of
right,
comedians, American comedians, the top tier
right,
comedians.
right.
They still go there. But Montreal, they're gonna.
Yeah, I think they're avoiding.
I guess the ranking is going down.
Yeah. I think they're avoiding it because there's, when you want to do business and stuff, it's hard, especially if you're in the U.S. and a lot of people in the U.S. can't speak French or can't speak
or even
questionably English too, but
or even the whole
yeah.
the market is not, you don't have a lot of high paying jobs, not so many people can pay the extra dollars for something not essential.
Yeah, that's it.
That's why that Toronto they have Blue Jay, they get everything, they get all the sport team, they're doing well because they have huge amount of fans and they can pay money.
Exactly. It really boils down to like if you have the fans, if you have if you pretty much have the money to back you up. That's it. Like
if you look at all the professional sports in Toronto, you must envy them, right? Envy them. You must envy them, saying like, "Geez, you have basketball club, the basketball team won the championship, NBA championship. They have baseball, they have hockey, even better than a lot of they get, because they have a lot of the larger fan base, and those fans they have money, they can afford the money spent on the sports.
Also too,
the hockey, the Canadians, the Montreal Canadians, they still a lot of people they like the team, but they just don't have enough money to pay the extra to support the team. If you don't have not good market going on, you don't attract a lot of top players.
Right. And also too, like in terms of Toronto, when you just have different things to go check out, like you want different kinds of cuisines. There's plenty of different kinds of cuisines, and like it's just I think that's one thing that they have over Montreal. But in terms of art scene and like more stuff like that, Montreal still has not so much anymore though. But they used to have a big art scene in Montreal. That's why people would come to Montreal and see art and galleries. But I think now everything's things have changed a lot. I think the scene has changed a lot. So,
what do you think is the reasons, the causes for the economy not doing so well?
Not sure.
Could be the language.
I think
or the mindset itself. It's like too protective.
I think mindset, language, pandemic.
No, because everyone has a pandemic.
Right. Well, I think the language and the protectiveness or the culture kind of thing definitely has influenced.
And even the infrastructure is really bad, right?
Yeah. Even the roads break easily. like we were talking before, REF doesn't even the REM hasn't even been built yet. So there's a lot of things that make Montreal kind of, I like the West Island though. It's quiet. It's boring, but it's nice.
But I was told, I even looked at Wikipedia and all those information there. Montreal used to be a huge city in North America, huge influence. But in the 1990s, 80s, they kind of went down crazy, right?
Yeah. 1967 was when they're the biggest year, and then afterwards it just kind of went downhill afterwards. So.
Because of the separation movement or something? At least politically not stable, right?
Yeah, that made it kind of unstable. And then from then it was just kind of stagnate, and now it's kind of on the decline. I don't go out to drink much anymore, but I have friends who go out and drink, and then they message me. They're like, "Hey man, there's no bars downtown anymore. They close super early and everything." So it's unfortunate because when we were younger, we can actually go out and do different things. But now by the time everything is 8, everything is more or less closed, or 10. So it's a different. And now everything's being built up in condos, like condos everywhere. Where the bars used to be, condos. So.
But building more condos is going to help downtown though. Because more people are going to stay in downtown. So
I think it might or it might not. Because if you build condos, most people in Montreal don't really have a job to be able to afford a condo. So the people that will be able to buy condos maybe don't want to go partying, don't want to go drinking, they have a different like lifestyle. So it might create a different environment downtown, but I think the scenery and everything like that, it's gonna change a lot. Not gonna be the same like nightlife. It's gonna become more calm, I think.
I guess like the economy is about the confidence. You know?
Right.
I guess a lot of time it's about confidence. People that don't have confidence about the future.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like probably people are probably not really confident about what's going on in Montreal and stuff like that. So, but honestly, I have no idea. Like, I can't really predict the future. I don't know what's gonna happen, but you can only like speculate, I guess, at this point. So, I don't know too much about like.
So a lot of people are moving out of the city.
Right, they're moving to places like Toronto, or even the West Island, or even the suburbs outside of Montreal. Like I have a sister that lives in de Montagne, for example. Like,
De Montagne, yeah, that's kind of the end of 129, right?
Right.
I used to take train to downtown.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 19 at De Montagne.
But that place itself is being built up, right? So everybody moves from downtown and then go to the suburbs. I think now it happens more and more because everybody's basically doing remote work, so they don't need to come downtown anymore.
But when the pandemic ends, do you think people are going to come back to downtown? Working from home could be
I think it's going to be permanent. I don't think people are going to come much back downtown.
But if you don't have face-to-face, like I know that working IT, the IT is maybe the easiest way of work from home, right? Easiest for restaurant you can't. But IT is very easy. You just have a VPN, whatever.
Right.
And you can get into the internal network and doing the work. But some stand-up meetings or something, like if you only through cameras, would that be efficient or?
No, I mean not enough. But you still need to be like go and do things and stuff. Yeah. But I think people still go out and still party and everything like that. But I think the lifestyle is changing. I guess people are more on like digital stuff and phones and like, I think there's more people are being more introverted and kind of being stuck on their phones and spending time on like TikTok and stuff like that. So whether or not people want to actually go out and meet people, maybe, probably. But I think like people are more like focused on their electronics.
Yeah, but if you stay at home, kind of work from home a lot of hours, you don't move.
Right.
And
No,
you get a lot of health issues too.
Oh yeah, no, you need to go out. You need to like do stuff and kind of do other things.
It's very interesting, and if like even half of the people are not coming back to downtown, they work remotely, so the whole business downtown will be bad.
Yeah.
We just don't have I used to work in the Eaton Center, the office around Eaton Center. So before the pandemic, it's during the lunchtime, starting 11:30 or something, to till 1:30 or 2 o'clock.
Right.
The food court is crazy.
Right.
A lot of people like all the franchise restaurants like Kimchi or Thai Express, or even the Subway, what is the Villa Madonna or something.
Okay. Yeah.
Super popular. A lot of people just kind of very conveniently. he just came down and then like with colleagues or something like $10 for the lunch.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I think
Especially Eaton
It's-
Center, the food quality is amazing.
yeah. Eden Center is pretty good. Yeah.
But then the pandemic came, nobody go, even half of, right now probably less than probably 1/3 of the people
Yeah.
back in the area. So like you can imagine those kind of business loss for those kind of restaurants.
Right. Yeah. No, it's hard. Like I think.
Yeah.
And
Even
then
affect
definitely-
us, I believe, for the lunch. The people, even launching even the subway. If you're a lot of people work in the office after work, they probably colleagues they come, before heading home, they probably gather together for like 1 hour or 2.
Right. Yeah. It's tough. Like it's not easy. Like it affects everybody. And
So for me personally, I really hope 100% people come back. But in reality, probably it's even half would be the best.
Well, I'm just around the corner, so I'll definitely come for lunch. I have no excuse. I just work right down the street. So. This.
But when you see a city like Montreal,
Mm.
like slowly going down like this,
Yeah.
it's kind of it's really kind of you feel like regret or some kind of pity, right?
I just feel, I don't know. I feel kind of disappointed.
Yeah,
I think that's more disappointment.
more disappointment,
Yeah.
and then you just don't see a turnaround.
Yeah.
You just cannot see it's coming back.
Yeah. Like I feel.
Well, we're still on the way down.
Yeah. Like I feel like it isn't down at the bottom yet, but I think we had a good run as a city, but I think it's almost kind of
Like the
maybe in 100 years from now, I don't know, but
Even
maybe
the-
probably not.
like the premier Francois Legault, you can tell
Yeah.
he's building the momentum for the
Quebec City.
Quebec,
Yeah.
the Quebec identity is sovereign, right?
Yeah. It's basically kind of forgetting the whole Montreal
Yeah.
diversity.
Yeah,
kind of
exactly.
thing.
He's more pushing for the sovereign of the Quebec nation.
Right. So it's very nationalistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So
it's you see, for the economy is not doing well.
Mm.
Probably he's not on his top of his agenda.
definitely not on top of his agenda. He's got certain things that he wants to do, but
So and he's popular at the same time.
yeah, but
Got a lot of support. So
Yeah.
you don't see any change.
yeah, which is it's gonna probably take down Montreal a lot.
Yeah,
so-
you would understand. Like some people, I'm outsider, just moved here, right?
Mm.
For outsider, you don't understand their pride or whatever. They feel like after
Right.
Quebec as a nation, as their identity.
And I mean, it's kind of closed-minded too. It's like there's other things, and you're also
But if
people
they-
that want to travel out.
But if they don't overprotect, or if they don't try a lot of things to protect their identity, probably, for example, the language itself, the French, they're probably going to lose French little by little.
Right. I think even if you try to protect it, like they're doing, you're eventually going to lose it because it's no matter how much you want to, you can't really stop people from moving to different places. Like there's everybody immigrates to different places and stuff. It's really hard to actually stop that.
But you cannot stop people trying or fighting, right?
Yeah.
So his group of politicians, they have the ideas. That could be their own ideas. Their what is aspiration to have a nation as a Quebec nation or something.
Right.
Their aspiration could be on the surface is what they're saying, but maybe their personal gains as well, but you cannot tell
Right.
their political career. But
Right.
at least they that's their flag, right? That's what they stand for for the future of Quebec.
Right.
But in reality,
So
it will bring
different.
it down. Yeah, it will bring down the cost will be the economy, the development of the.
Yeah.
But
Like I think they're thinking short term, but long term, I think it's not gonna be useful. What they're doing.
It's very very interesting because even, but you never know if they hold it really well, people 100% support their vision. Like Quebec is a French nation, so probably they're gonna do okay long term as well because like imagine if Quebec is like a country like France, they speak French.
Yeah.
Some people speak English, but it's a national language still
Right.
French, right? So they still have their own economy doing fine.
I think it really depends on how they approach it. Like if you approach it in a certain way, it could possibly do well. But everything that's been going on so far, it doesn't seem to.
But in an international state, it probably will be, especially right now, everything is globalization. So you probably will be further isolated or further, nobody even, you are not big enough for everybody have to deal with you,
Right.
Probably over the time you will be neglected.
Right.
Like what we are, like Montreal is today.
Right.
So even North America lose a city like Montreal,
Yeah.
it's not a big deal for them. They just over time they just forget about this great city.
Yeah.
Once was a great city. It just you go down by yourself.
Yeah.
It's not whole North America is going down with you. It's
Right.
just you.
It's just the city
Yeah,
itself.
it's just Montreal. Like you just forgotten.
Yeah.
It's Quebec is the same. Like could be other Ontario, all the other provinces doing super well, and
Right.
then you just kind of has your own identity,
Yeah.
like your own flag, amazing, and you every day you proud of yourself.
Right.
But overall, your power, your influence is just diminished.
Yeah.
It's getting small and small.
Yeah.
That could be the reality.
I think that's the reality.
Yeah, but if you open up, you kind of embrace the international idea, like the English business, like focus on the business. Whoever does business here, we don't require you doing all those kind of obligations on the language stuff.
Yeah.
But you will boom. You will have great city, Montreal. They will say, oh, this is have a French culture. You have European style thing.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we can do business freely.
Yeah.
So they make money here. Everybody is happy. But at the same time, over time, your French gonna be, half of the population not even speaking French.
Yeah.
So you will feel your pride gonna hurt. Your pride gonna be hurt. It's still my nation, still my French or not,
Yeah.
But the people they probably have better material, better economy for majority of people.
Yeah.
But you're gonna little bit take the pride down or even what is that? Finland, the prime she's the prime minister of Finland. She's pretty, right? She's super young prime minister. She speaks perfect English.
Yeah.
All those European leaders, they speak really like Macron as well. French president. They speak perfect English. It's not a shame to be able to speak English. It's that could be the trend.
Yeah.
Even,
I mean, it would make more sense than being able to at least.
The language is just a tool. You kind of communicate.
Exactly.
But if you hold like as a pride,
pride
as something,
and grudge.
As something you have to do it to make you feel like you're part of this a province, a group, identity group.
Right.
So over time, you probably are on the wrong side.
Right. No, you have to be open to other things, because if you're not open, and you become like this,
It's very interesting. It's because everybody is like try to communicate. People just choose easier language for them to be useful.
Right.
But the language is a tool to communicate, to finish a business, finish the conversation.
Right.
As long as it's easier for people. That's why the English is winning everywhere in the world. That's because it's more accepted, more people speaking.
Right.
It's like
it's more common.
More
to
common
learn it in another country.
Doing business, study,
language,
learn things, exchange ideas. It's just a trend. You just cannot hold them back or cannot stop. It's kind of the running wheels. You cannot stop it. It's
Right.
saying like, I don't like this trend. I just want to hold it back, resist.
Right.
But it's kind of it's keeping, if the top people, the leaders, have this kind of a mindset, or this kind of deep in their mind, they have to do this, have to stop the wheels, or
Right.
stop. It could be very, very bad for at least for the city, or for the overall the population.
Right, and also too with the fact that you're basically closing off to people that actually speak different languages too.
Yeah.
So it's like not only you're basically telling people you can't speak your language, it's like it's my identity too. So you lose your, like, by kind of saying our identity is better than everybody else's, you're basically doing something that you shouldn't be doing, which is complete reverse. It's like you should be embracing other people's identities, but in fact it's like they're basically saying our identity is better than everybody else's.
It's already very multicultural already.
Yeah.
Right? It's people from, like, even you have Jamaica, Chinese, I mean everywhere, Indian.
Right.
So you kind of force people, or ask them to pay extra price, staying here. Force them to,
It doesn't.
force them like to get some service in French, but at the same time they just don't have the skills for the not fluent in French. So actually you are denying them from the services, the public services.
Yeah.
Like every time if I call Revenue Quebec, like if you can understand, the listening part is most difficult. And unless your French level is really good, you just cannot finish the conversation over phone.
Right.
It's so difficult. It's just kind of a.
That's the thing. It's like so many people,
if you
come and then like you don't know how to like you don't understand, like, 'cause you just arrive and they expect you already to be like.
Yeah, if you can
pro
listen, understand people's French, that means your French level is already very, very good.
Right.
It's listening part is very, very difficult. I self-learning for a long time, but if I need help, I probably can say in French. I probably can get words out in French. But if the listening part is different game.
Yeah. No, it needs to be more open with that. Like it just.
Everybody, but you can totally understand their worry. The worry is losing their identity, worrying, Quebec is not French anymore. Over the time, they may study already. If they did study, or you will look, they probably see the trend already. 1950s, 60s, 70s, right? That's why the whole René Levesque movement, right? So they saw that trend already.
Right.
It's globalization. English is so dominant.
Right.
All the top business people, they speak English to get the high-ranking people in the companies, the corporation. They kind of talk to different leaders in the world, different branches in different countries. So, that time you had an advantage speaking English well. But then they're gonna say that, that's really bad. The importance of French was going down. So they have to reverse that by some law or some kind of. Have to force it to turn. They have to force it to turn.
But also, you shouldn't be enforcing it by making other people lose their own culture. It kind of defeats the purpose, I think you can learn a language, but keep your culture.
That's the price you pay for immigrants. Everybody bring their own the values of the customs. If you want people come in, but then you don't expect they bring their own values or the customs, that's not realistic. You cannot expect them coming, like a switch, like into French, or Quebecois. It's not possible.
Right. Yeah, it's hard to make that switch like right away,
And
or
also-
even at all.
Yeah, exactly. But we're all immigrants, just like you came a little bit, few generations earlier or few years earlier, right?
Right.
Like maybe 300 years ago, like you were immigrants too. Like
There you go.
you're from France, Like
Yeah.
the land did not belong to you guys either,
Mhm.
right? So it's kind of it's hypocritical. Sometimes you think about it. It's not very. You have arguments, but the arguments is not so solid, you know.
Right.
Because
right.
few hundred years back, you kind of came from somewhere else too, right?
Yeah. So
It's a
yeah.
the
No,
argument,
it's a hypocritical
Yeah.
argument that they make and stuff like that because everyone's an immigrant.
just because you were strong the one time you beat one guy, you removed one group, like you took their land, you took their you established the power, right?
Yeah.
And then you said this power is permanent. Nobody can come, nobody can challenge, or
Yeah.
nobody.
Yeah.
The new immigrants can have to follow my customs,
Yeah.
our values, our
Yeah.
thing. You know,
It's colonial.
Yeah,
It's very colonial.
yeah. At the
mentality.
beginning, you are the newcomers, you are the invaders, or whatever. You know,
Yeah.
it's very interesting. But then the wise people, they're gonna choose wise. They can you hope you have leaders to be very wise.
Yeah.
To like do the balance.
Yeah. And then you definitely need people that can give you balance. Because if you have too much of one thing, it will just completely get out of whack.
Yeah. Also, Quebec it's amazing. It has its own culture, French culture. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the values, the customs, traditions. It's still people keep them. It's great, but at the same time, you don't restrict other people.
Right.
It's the best. That would be the best scenario.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think it would be good that they would just be able to like allow different things. You know, it just feels too like rigid and like
Especially like being in Montreal for 17 years. It's a beautiful city.
right.
But by natural scenery, it's beautiful scenery.
Right.
Like whole island wrapped by two big rivers, and then you have water from everywhere.
Right.
And you have those small hills, right?
Right.
And it's naturally it's beautiful like crazy.
Yeah. No, the nature's nice.
Yeah. It's nobody. I guess no cities in North America they can beat this.
I think it has like its own unique.
Yeah. Montreal is amazing. Just like saying like like you are sinking your own ship.
Yeah, I think definitely beautiful scenery, people. Not the greatest, but I think that's usually how it works in Montreal. But
You as a city you have to attract a lot of top tier people as well.
right,
Have a lot of the middle class, also people working hard. But at the end, you have to attract a lot of hardworking and also very smart people, so they can create something. They can create a good enterprise, good companies, and those kind of create some great services and products. You have to have this kind of stuff. Otherwise,
you don't really have much.
Yeah, exactly. Who's providing those kind of high end,
Right.
either manufacturing or the services or products? Who's maybe everybody doing the low end thing?
Yeah, I feel like that's what we're missing. We're just missing a lot of
Top tier.
top tier.
Top tier companies. Something they can really, they're leading in their fields. You know, like the innovation, something. You know, they can build something really ahead of the competitors.
Right.
And then those kind of leading companies, they have a lot of good positions, well-paying positions. So those people in the society, so they can afford a lot of money to support the local sports.
Right.
Like Montreal Canadiens, you will see a lot of the seats, the tickets every game gonna be filled. The stadium gonna be crowded, and then have good sales on the tickets, and then next year we buy a superstar.
Yeah. No, honestly, it'd be nice to just have like people to at least invest into the city and not have the city people invest, but then you're like, oh, but where did the money go? Kind of thing.
Oh, no. That's a small bottle. A small bottle.
Thank you again. But yeah. Well, no, it'd be nice to at least have someone kind of invest in the city. But I find all the times that people invest in the city, the money just disappears. Nobody knows where it goes. It's like, okay, that's the crappy part of.
But another thing is the culture itself. Montreal is it's a tourist city, so a lot of people visiting Montreal for the
Right.
sightseeing or the city culture.
Right. Yeah, no, it's definitely a tourism. Like there's a lot of tourists that come to like during the summer and stuff, but during the winter time nobody wants to come because it's too cold.
Yeah, too cold.
So it makes a lot of sense though.
But what else about But you're gonna stay here for a long time.
It depends. I'll see what I can do. We stay here, but I'm also maybe considering also checking out Halifax.
That's even smaller.
Yeah, it's smaller too, but it's near the water and there's like maybe I don't know. Just looking at like options and stuff.
But I can see
But
you're
maybe
not
it's
you are not looking for like big city like
Yeah.
Toronto. No.
No, I think I'm looking for like a smaller town kind of thing like that.
Jeez, you was like very like chill.
Yeah, I think it's because basically like both my parents have come from the countryside, so I feel like I'm going back to the countryside. Basically, become like it's a full circle. They come to the city, and then you end up going back to the countryside kind of thing.
Is that? But it would be a little bit boring or something. Nothing happens.
I mean, it would, but yeah, it would. I don't think long term, maybe. I mean, short term, just to kind of stay, but maybe go back to the city. We'll see. I haven't really decided yet.
What do you like? What do you like to do? Like when you have time?
Oh, I just relax. I just hang out. Don't really do much these days, to be honest.
But what do you?
I think I.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. What do you like? You studied the philosophy. What do you make use of that thing?
I just whatever I did in my job now, I used philosophy to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because basically, like, there was one thing that I learned when I was in philosophy was like,
What was the 4-year program, right? 3
it
years.
was like a 3-year, yeah.
3-year.
But it was like deductive logic. If A, then B, then this.
That's like mathematics.
It's basically mathematics, and it was like kind of philosophy, but it's basically what I do. It's like programming, pretty much.
Really? So that's kind of computer science.
Yeah, yeah. So there was a lot of like things that I learned in that just happened to be applicable. Yeah. So, but no, other than like relaxing and stuff, I cook. I like going on walks. There's like a river next to where I live, so I just go and chill out over there and everything like that. Eat. I go eat a lot. Not always out to eat. Like I kind of order it, bring back home or whatever. Go to the gym. Like I've like been really into like.
But your area was your area flooded a few years ago?
It wasn't, but it was flooded just
very close. Right?
Close, yeah, a little bit west where I was living. So like I walked up and there was like water like this high and I like walked
at least the Guan and Shenzhen.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
Yeah,
I guess that's almost the lowest point of the. I used to go to the Pizza Hut in Shenzhen and the Pier 4, that corner, and it was totally
flooded.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. The whole street was like a meter deep, like 3 feet deep. On the street.
Yeah, I remember walking up that way when it was like a giant flooding, and I remember walking through the water. I got really sick afterwards, though, but I ended up walking through the water to like go to see how deep it was and stuff like that.
But not affecting your area yet.
It didn't affect my area at all. Luckily, we were like more inland, so it didn't affect me. But it was just like it was like I remember the first time it flooded. I never seen that before.
Yeah, that's too close to the water.
Yeah.
The whole Guan was
everything. The whole Guan was like underwater pretty much. Yeah. It was an interesting time.
Twice.
Twice, yeah.
Happened twice. Are people still living there? They said the government they kind of provide the buyout option for them.
Right. I think people still live there.
Yeah, I
but,
guess
like,
a lot of people did not take that offer.
Yeah.
Because I still go there sometime, like recently, like so. Seems like nobody left. Right? After 2 floods,
Yeah.
people are still living
People
there.
are just like, no, I'm good.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, but like it's not a place that you build a new house for sure.
Yeah,
Like, if
that's-
you want to build a new house, no, not that area.
That's really low.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it is. Yeah.
And even the Pizza Hut before the flood, Pizza Hut was not doing well. That
Right.
one, I went to there several times. They used to have $9 for the lunch.
Yeah,
You remember? They have
Yeah.
nine on 10, $9.99 or $9.
yeah,
You can eat all you can eat pizza.
yeah. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can punch your card.
Yeah.
Also, there's a give you little card. You punch 7 times, 8 times, or 10 times. You have a one free.
Yeah.
1 time free.
Yeah.
Are
No, I
you-
remember that. Like I used to go with friends and stuff and
Yeah.
just eat.
It's
whenever.
amazing. They have
Yeah.
pizza all you can eat.
Yeah. I don't think they do that anymore though.
No,
Yeah.
there's one in Guangdong area. They still
Okay.
do that.
Okay.
I think
Nice.
before the pandemic, when other area they close all the Pizza Hut, even on the sauces, St. Charles,
Charles,
Yes,
yeah.
St. Charles closed the first.
Okay.
Yeah, 10 years ago they closed.
Oh.
But 15 years ago, every weekend I go there buy the cheese in the crust.
Yeah.
That's the invention.
Yeah.
The invention is amazing. So
Yeah.
have the thick cheese inside the
I remember,
crust.
yeah, I remember that.
So I used to go every weekend. I go buy, but then they close really soon because the venue, the whole place is too big.
Right,
I guess the
right.
rent was too high.
Right.
And then after that I went to the Saint Jean, the Pizza Hut of Saint Jean.
Right.
Then they closed. Or
Oh.
I guess they closed before the flood. Or flood. Or the flood.
I think the flood happened and then they closed.
Oh, they closed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I could tell that the business was not good
Right.
because you have relatively big place, but you have only the
Yeah.
lunch $9 lunch, only 10 people,
Yeah.
8 people. Like at
Yeah.
the time I was there,
Yeah.
so I could tell probably gonna close soon.
Yeah.
Then the flood happened.
And they were just like, all right, done.
Yeah, it's 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember it was like empty whenever you go.
Yeah. And also after that I found like the Newman Street on the Newman probably
Okay.
on the Anguillon
Right.
area. So they still provide the all you can eat
Oh, nice.
lunch.
Cool.
But if we check today, probably no.
Yeah.
I guess because the pandemic gonna give them a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
And other I used to be a big fan of Pizza Hut. So there's Culinary, the area on the Jean Dalong Street. There's
Right.
one, but they only provide takeout. So they're really smart.
Right.
They don't want to have the dine-in, so
Yeah.
they save a lot of cost. Very small
Right.
place, small restaurant, so the rent was low.
Right.
Another one was on the Highway 15, close to Jean Dalong, but Highway 15 to where? Next to the Walmart, I believe.
Okay.
The Queen Mary, and 15, Highway 15. Those are McDonald's and
Right.
Walmart.
Right.
And there's one Pizza Hut. They had the dining service, but they bankrupt as well. They closed, I guess, 7-8 years ago because when I was still having the restaurant in Culinary,
Right.
7 years ago, some known I went there.
Right.
I went there for the $9 thing.
Yeah.
All you can eat $9.
Yeah, I remember too. Like, we had a pizza 2-for-1 near where I was living, and like that was super cheap. And we would always go there for like lunch and everything like that because it was just like really cheap.
The
Like $1.
Pizza Hut as well.
It wasn't not
Oh, the
Pizza
Domino's.
Hut. I went to Riverdale. So Riverdale's there's like a pizza 2-for-1. It was like its own
Okay.
thing, like own restaurant. But it was like really cheap pizzas. Like one slice was like $1, and so it was just really cheap. Not that good, but like affordable. Like just going like that.
Yeah.
But they closed down, and now they're like a.
Yeah, 10 years ago I was big fan of Pizza Hut, and also overall the pizza I like pizza.
Yeah.
But then I could not figure out why Domino's was so popular. Actually, I guess Pizza Hut literally was defeated by Domino's.
Yeah.
They were the first one. Domino's, the whole franchise, they started the online order
Yeah.
before the Uber Eats, way before the Uber Eats. So they had their own drivers, their own website to order. You order like
Yeah.
on the website.
I remember that. Yeah.
Domino's, and then a lot cheaper than. But personally, I really prefer the Pizza Hut over Domino's.
Yeah.
Domino's, like you can tell.
It's also kind of like artificial when you're eating it. You know, it's like the ingredients aren't fresh at all. You're like, no.
The Pizza Hut somehow just could not survive. Even today, I guess they have very few restaurants
Right.
only doing takeout. The Pizza
Yeah.
Hut in Montreal area.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you see more Pizza Hut like if you're in the U.S. or if you're like in Ontario. But yeah, that's what it is.
Great. So what do you want to do? Like later on in your life or something, you have plans, improve your front end JavaScript, or you want to move a little bit to the back end? I guess back end they are paid better, or is that real?
Paid,
or more serious,
they're paid,
more
I think
responsibilities?
I think they're paid more, but I think in terms of doing back end, you need to understand like there's a lot. It's a lot more complicated. There's a lot
because
more
they interact with database.
Exactly. Yeah. Like there's a lot of like things that are
performance as well.
Yeah, performance as well, optimization.
Yeah,
stuff
optimization.
Like that. Yeah. Maybe in the future I'll look into getting that, but I think like
But
at the moment,
that will be a long-term game.
yeah, it's a long-term game.
You are focused. You're gonna stick in the IT field, right? You're not like jumping again. Or
I wanna stay in one field now. Like now that I feel more comfortable with it, I want to stay in one field. So like looking into like doing front end for now, getting comfortable with that, and then learning back end along with front end, so I can do both.
Is there any like other language you kind of interested? Like the Python is very
Python is popular.
Yeah.
I want to actually kind of learn Rust. I know Rust is kind of a newer language.
right.
It's like a newer language. There's a thing called Go, which seems interesting.
Yeah,
too.
Go is I heard.
Yeah,
that.
So I want to try that as well. So there's a few things like I want to.
But do you think it's because you kind of transfer to this field a little bit, like more like recently? Is that good to for the people with other background? Is easy to do that as well? But you have philosophy is kind of a mathematic already.
But it's not. I wouldn't say it's easy at all. Like I would say it's doable. Like, but it's tough.
Before you get the McGill, the IT certificate, like did you think like you were good with the logical stuff? Because for the computer you have to be,
I didn't even know anything about computers. Like I didn't know anything about.
But overall, do you think you're good with logics?
Like I'm much better now than I was maybe when I was starting out. I'm still far from being really good at it. But I think that's me accepting that I'm not gonna always be the best. But I mean, when I was just starting out, I didn't even know like how anything worked. So I mean, now I at least have an understanding. I can explain to other people what I do. So I mean, I would say I'm doing pretty good. There's definitely things that I can improve on, but I'm doing.
I'm really logical. I really like the logics.
Right.
But I hate coding.
Right.
That time the C language always you compile.
Yeah.
You compile, you get a lot of errors.
Yeah.
I hate that. Like the logic is fine. Fine. I was confident about the logics to design if else whatever those things. But the problem is the syntax.
Right.
The syntax of the language. The C language is giving me a lot of trouble.
I heard C language, C and C++ is really difficult.
It is fundamental.
Yeah.
A lot of even today, I guess Tesla, whatever, they still use those.
Yeah.
It's very efficient language.
Yeah. It's like anything. I think any software that you have is like compiled with C++. Even JavaScript compiles with C++.
At the end, you have to be efficient.
Yeah.
But it's like easy to use, fancy. You kind of have library here or somebody built something already, just use it. But that may not be the most efficient one has to be from scratch.
Right.
You build your own instead of you borrow. You borrow because you use it for this function.
Right.
but it has something else.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like you save your time borrowing a big chunk of code,
Right.
but this code is not for your stuff.
Right. Yeah, because like I mean, you write in JavaScript, but in the end, it's compiling it to C++ and you're writing the code. So it's like it's not the most efficient thing, but it
Gets
the
the job
web
done.
and everything gets the job done. And like, and that's what the web is built on. But like if you're doing anything like more gaming or whatever, or game development, you need something that will actually be like really good.
Great.
Yeah.
Something else you want to add? We can wrap this up. We finish all the dishes.
Yeah. No, I feel like we've kind of covered a lot today.
But actually, do you still want to add something about the Jamaican Chinese thing?
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of what else.
Yeah.
Pretty much is there.
Or some information you can send me. I put in the description of the
Yeah.
in the description of the video.
Or
Where the Jamaican restaurant is. I get put there.
Yeah, I can talk. Yeah, you can
Follow
talk
myself.
about Lloydie's, and then talk about like the whole BT Records thing. I think that would be kind of cool to check out.
You can send me some names I put in the description.
Yeah.
Send me after this.
Yeah, for sure.
For the restaurant, definitely I'm gonna try it out myself to see like different food as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I was just hoping that coming today, talking to you and kind of introducing you to what I'm familiar with, but also like how Chinese culture influences me as well.
Also, you said like after your grandma passed away or something.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, you did some research as well for your Chinese background.
Right.
But what did you find?
So what we found was that her father came from Foshan. So my grandma's name was Cynthia Maycom.
Okay.
And then her dad was, from what we found, her dad's name was Kong Bao Chong.
Okay.
And basically, he left with his son. So my grandma had a brother, but he left with his son, and then we weren't sure where they went to after they left Jamaica, whatever. We didn't know where they went.
Where did your grandma's father meet her mom?
They met in Jamaica, and then I don't know the full story. Nobody really knows.
But that must be 6-7 years old before, right? That was
like early 1900s probably. Yeah, like early 1900s.
That's 100 years ago.
Yeah, it's about 100 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was a while back. But what's funny is that we found out that her father took her brother to San Francisco on a boat, on a ferry.
Okay.
So they ended up in San Francisco, but
lost
nobody
contact.
knew. Yeah, exactly. But nobody knew that they actually went there. So when I found out all this information, everyone was all confused and like,
Did you try those? I guess still active. The website called Ancestry.
I tried that, couldn't find any information. Yeah, so it was really hard to find. How we found about the papers was basically, I just did a lot of research. I just found like different documents. They're like, oh well, this person left at this time. I'm like, okay, let me take a look. And I was able to kind of trace the actual ferry that it took and where it left, where it went. Yeah, I don't even know how I found it, but we managed to find the actual ferry that left from this point to this point on this specific day, and it matched exactly what.
But what year was that? The ferry
It was like 1935 or something like that, like 1930s.
Yeah, 1930s.
Yeah.
But like your grandma, did he speak Chinese? Any kind of Chinese?
My grandma didn't, but she understood. Yeah.
But
So
that language did not pass to your parents, your father, right?
No.
So that's
kind of like it was kind of
cut,
like
lost.
Lost on the way. So
Okay.
yeah. So that's a lot of the reality, though. I find a lot of people living over there. It's basically a lot of people's parents, like their dads, just disappear, and then you kind of like get separated from that, So
Probably if you can track that, like the father in San Francisco, probably super rich already.
The father probably passed away a long time
Yeah,
ago,
long time
and we don't even know if the brother's still there or if he changed his name. We don't even know.
Yeah, San Francisco is big.
San Francisco large, so yeah. So it's like that's pretty much like how I'm kind of learned. That's how I think that's what kind of introduced me to like learning about that background.
And the San Francisco, we have in China we have a Chinese name for the city.
Okay.
It's called literally translating to Old Gold Mountain. Yeah, Old Golden Mountain. Because like in the dynasty Qing around 1800, 1850, 1900. So they tricked a lot of Chinese people, poor people, peasants.
Right.
They told them like in this New America, there's a gold mountain everywhere. So you just go dig gold. So they have gold everywhere. Probably just when you walk, you probably find gold. Like,
they trick to people.
So actually, what they end up there is like they work to build the
railroads.
Railroads all from across America. Was built a lot of Chinese. Like they are like people saying like you have to do the explosive to explode open up the mountain rock, right? They all tell Chinese immigrant workers, the workers to go. Some people get killed.
Because most people don't even have that experience. They're just being thrown into the doing a lot of dangerous stuff.
So that's why the San Francisco, a lot of original Chinese people were actually literally those slaves. They were sold them. Actually, who sold them is Chinese as well. So some at the beginning, those Chinese people they have connection with the West. So they spoke English. So they kind of as an agent. Sold all his common people, all his comrades, all the patriots, compatriots or something. So their own people like talking to them in Chinese and then talking to the other side, the Americans in English, and then sold them like, come on, there's a lot of good jobs, good money, a lot of gold there. So that's why the city called Old Gold Mountain.
And I wouldn't be surprised too.
Still we call the same name. Still call the city.
And I wouldn't be surprised too if the pit stop was like the Caribbean or whatever, like because I mean at one point, like the Americans and stuff were kind of like also influencing the Jamaicans too. So I don't know, maybe like some people kind of like were going on the process of going to San Francisco, but kind of made a pit stop in like one location.
It is
crazy.
We have a lot of American cities, like for example, New York is just translation, just like translate by pronunciation. Just find a character close to the sound pronunciation. Most cities like we translate the name like that. Only San Francisco, we translate into totally different Chinese name with the Old Gold Mountain because of that.
Interesting.
Other city is Louisiana. We just translate Louisiana. Like New York, Miami, just Miami. Like Chicago, just Chicago. We call Chicago like we call Chicago. Just close. We pick several characters to sound similar. But San Francisco, we call it Jiuqingshan, Old Gold Mountain. That's the only city I find is the problem. This like because people use like from Foshan, like your grandma's dad from the city. The people from the south in China, those are the first people get tricked, get sold to North America. So they have thousands of them, and they could not get nothing. They are just barely surviving. Some people died. Some people, but when they get, as long as you have food and shelter, and you live, and they have your children, and then that's why there's a lot of Chinese population. San Francisco.
Now I'm kind of wondering if it actually went and they got tricked into going to San Francisco.
They just give you that. They sold you the idea like Gold Mountain. Gold Mountain, seriously.
Now that has me wondering too.
The Chinese name of the city is very, very interesting. Also, we have, it's kind of perspective from Chinese standpoint, and we will give them our name, Chinese name. For example, the city, like the capital of South Korea is Seoul, right?
Right.
And we used to call them Hancheng. So now they ask change the Chinese. We call them in Chinese. We call the city as Hancheng. It means Han means Chinese, Han Chinese, like Han city. So we somehow in the history, we feel like it's part of the tribute country to Central Kingdom, Middle Kingdom, Chinese, China.
Right.
So we were so big, so they are the tribute country. So we named the city like Han City, it's our Chinese city.
Yeah.
So somehow 20 years ago, 30 years ago, South Korean they request us to change our Chinese name to Seoul, to Seoul. So it's very, very interesting. So
interesting.
yeah. Otherwise, you feel like from Chinese side, like we just want to change the Chinese way of calling a city, naming a city.
Yeah.
How to translate or something, but in the history we call them Han city because the Han ethnic is the majority of Chinese.
Right.
The Han was great. Dynasty Han was about.
And I remember, I think I was reading at one point too that
like Han is big. Like in Japanese, one of the three characters called kanji. Kanji is Hanzi as well.
Yes.
Han is the big thing because the Han dynasty. Han dynasty is very, very powerful. That was about 2,000 years ago.
Yeah.
So that's the very powerful dynasty.
Yeah.
So Han dynasty. That's why the Han people. You have ethnic background. If you tell them you are Mongolian ethnic, the people they don't like you. But if you tell them you are Han that time, you are powerful. Like in the United States.
Yeah.
You're from the United States. It's Han people. Really powerful militarily. They have great army. So really powerful. That's why in the whole history they call them Han people. And the kanji literally means Han character. Like in Japanese characters, we read them as well. The kanji in Japanese, we all can read like the same meaning. They use the same characters like in Chinese. And the Koreans as well, Han city.
Interesting.
So, we are Han people. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, because it's so powerful that it's like the Hans.
Yeah.
It's H-U-N, right? Hans. You know the Hans.
The Hans,
Yeah, Hans, the whip of the god of the Attila. Attila. You know that.
I don't know that.
Yeah, in the history, Hans, I guess it's called Hans. They were like the Normans tribes, nomadic tribes on the north of China. So in the beginning of the Han dynasty, so they were always invading. Because we have towns and the cities, they are nomads.
Right.
So they always invade. They get stuff pillage the whole town or something, taking the woman, taking some goods, food, everything.
Right.
So they were very powerful. They on horses, very powerful. So only Han dynasty, the one of the emperor, the second or the third emperor, just organized a huge army, just removed them all, eliminated all the Hans on the north of the Chinese border. So the Hans, then they went west because they will almost get eliminated completely. So the remaining of their tribes, they went west to the Europe. So if you look at the history of Hans, at around 100 BC or around at that time, they kind of went west. So they pushed out the Romans or something.
Right.
So that time they got the.
Is that the reason why there's a lot of people who mix in Kyrgyzstan and the more eastern, the middle,
that
Middle Asia,
that? I'm not sure. That could be from Genghis Khan.
Okay.
Yeah, Mongolians.
Okay.
Yeah. But Mongolians and Genghis Khan, they were always on the north as well.
Right.
To the Chinese Great Wall. They built the Great Wall to defend them.
Right.
But then they conquered the whole China. For us, it will be Yuan dynasty. So about 500, 600 years ago. So the Mongolians totally, they are the north to the Great Wall. Somehow the Great Wall did not stop them. so they took control of China for like about less than 100 years.
Yeah.
So we occupied the whole China less than 100 years.
Jeez. Crazy.
Yeah. So China was always like that, and then some, like after the Mongolians, they were quickly defeated by the Han ethnic groups. So the Han people, they thought they were the real Chinese. So the Han people, Mongolian people conquered the whole Han, the China. So after a few, maybe 60, 70 years, like the brutal ruling. So really kind of the Han people are second class citizen.
Right.
So even a third class.
Yeah.
So the kind of Han people really quickly reorganized, like rose up, and then they fought against the Mongolian the government. So they took control back. So that would be Dynasty Ming. Okay. So it's real Han people in control.
Huh.
And they only for 300 or 200 years it's always like emperors, they can only pass to the sands.
Right.
Emperor, the throne is only to the sands.
Okay.
So there's Zhu family for the Ming dynasty. So all the family named Zhu, ZHU.
Okay.
So all this like 300 years or 200 years. So sands to sands. So but at the end they were defeated again. So the last emperor of this dynasty of the family name, I guess he was defeated like by the Manchuria, the north again. So the people in the north, they really good at fighting.
Right.
Because they very cold, like the Montreal weather.
Yeah.
And then they kind of really bad life, very tough.
Yeah.
Very hard life for them. So the people there, they build up really strong. So they kind of really the fighting style is really kind of brutal or savage.
Yeah.
So but as a fighting force, probably a little bit superior. Or
Right.
they can win the war.
Right.
So somehow the Manchurian people, they conquered China again. So actually it's not Han people again. So in the last few hundred years, the two ethnic groups, they conquered the Han ethnic groups.
Huh.
Yeah, that's about, but the last one, Manchurian, the emperors, like they conquered China from the north, they came here to the mainland.
Right.
So they took the whole land.
Yeah.
They was the beginning, the first emperors, 2 or 3 emperors, they were so smart to adapt. So they changed the whole system, custom, tradition to the Chinese way of things. So they use our officials, Han officials, all those people, the system, everything, the bureaucratic system. So they totally abandoned their system, their kind of nomadic system. They use this more formal and it's established system. So bureaucratic system, everything already there. So the first emperor just took everything in. That's why his dynasty was stable for 400 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So his lot of generations. So very stable. So they totally became Han people. They kind of feel like Chinese culture. They took it and then they adapted to Han Chinese culture. And then they're supposed to stay there forever until the English and the French people invade China. Yeah, seriously. Without the Western power, they would be still Han dynasty. So that's like 1840. 1840 is the Opium War. Opium War.
Right.
If you Google the Opium War, it's the British and the French. Only British at the first time. The first Opium War is British only, I believe, and then 1860, 20 years after, is the second Opium War. So that time they came together with French. So British and French armies together beat China again the second time because they use cannon, they have guns, they have fleets, they have everything. So modern technology army. Yeah. So the dynasty, it just could not handle with them, could not deal with them. That's why the whole thing from 1840 to 1949, so 109 years. Right. So all turmoil. The country was defeated, was conquered by Western power, by this or that, and then the Japanese invasion, and then all those things till the Communist Party took over. It has been China 109 years. We call the 100 years humiliation. That's why it's
interesting.
It's a lot of
It's-
history.
It's interesting to put in all the perspective because you see that
It's ethnic Han.
Yeah,
It's always
yeah.
the center.
yeah.
That's why use Han is big thing.
Even today, most people would identify as
Yeah,
Han.
yeah. I guess always Han. It's different. The HAN is Han, but the group was defeated like on the north. You can Google it like
Yeah.
just Google HUN. I believe it's SUN is the we call barbarians. We call because we had the cultures, you know,
Right.
civilization.
It's HAU.
No HUN
HA.
HUN UN S HUN S.
H. S.
Yeah, I guess those
Okay.
the
Yeah.
ones were the many people who lived in the Central Asia.
Interesting.
And the north of China.
Oh, interesting. Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So,
But for us ethnic, for us like Chinese would be HAN. Han.
yeah.
Yeah, HAN.
Oh,
That's one letter different. But HAN is like central. But
Yeah.
right now is in China officially we say 56 ethnic groups. 56. But Han is one of them, but it's the majority, like 90% of the population.
okay. Interesting.
Yeah. Han people.
Okay. It's good to know. I didn't know about that. That's
It's a lot of ethnics, but it's amazing. Like different remote areas,
Yeah.
they have literally 56 different ethnic groups.
just living in the country.
Yeah, 56. Mongolia is still the one of them,
Yeah.
but they used to be the conqueror. They're smaller. We used to way bigger than them, and
Right.
then they took our wealth. You know, they saw you guys are richer. and then one time, for 70 years, they kind of took control of the whole land.
Right.
That's like Genghis Khan, Kubilai.
Right.
You know the Kubilai, and
Yeah.
Kubilai was the emperor of China at that time, not the Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan was not uniting yet.
Right.
He started, not finishing, but his grandson Kubilai finished. Was total control.
Mm.
Yeah, his grandson Kubilai was in total control of the whole China at that time.
Mm.
Yeah, so for us Kubilai would be the real emperor of Yuan dynasty.
Okay.
But Genghis Khan is the grandfather of the whole dynasty.
Mm. Interesting.
Yeah, too much history.
No, I like this because I like history. I find for me history and geography is like the two things that I really like the most.
Just Wikipedia is the best teacher, I guess. When I look up the Western stuff, American, Canadian stuff, British, French, I always go to Wikipedia.
Yeah. I grew up.
Last time I was looking the articles about the René Lebesque. Very famous for Quebec movement.
Yeah.
René Lebesque.
Yeah. No, I like learning about things that I don't know, I'm not familiar with. So learning about Chinese culture and learning about history is cool for me. So that's exactly the stuff that I like reading about and learning about and stuff like that too. So plus, you don't get taught that here, so it's
Great. We definitely talk later.
yeah, for sure.
Something to add, or we wrap up here?
No, we're good.
Great.
Wrap it up.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.